Ladies and gentlemen, service members and veterans who have served, who are currently serving this great nation, I'm honored to speak with you today. For many, Memorial Day marks the beginning of summer. This year, for many of us, it marks another day closer to the end of social distancing, hopefully. We have been through a great deal together as a state, a nation, and a world since we first heard of the coronavirus. Yet, as much of our lives have been altered, truly impacted, we're still breathing in and out and determined to get through this with our families and neighbors. Perhaps ironically, Memorial Day is our day to remember those who died at the end of a war we fought within our own borders, a war fought between states, a war fought amongst brothers. Both sides suffered terrible losses, 600,000 dead. We hear numbers of dead each day on the news from COVID-19. I pray we do not see numbers like that before this is over. But those dead in the Civil War were not forgotten. It was a simple act of honoring service and adorning soldiers' graves with flowers of May that gave birth to Decoration Day, now known as Memorial Day. It was officially observed the first time on May 13, 1868 at Arlington National Cemetery. Scholars believe it was chosen because it was not the anniversary of a battle, and the flowers would be in bloom all over the country so everyone could recognize the fallen soldiers. It was not a day to commemorate war. It was a day to celebrate, a day to decorate, and to commemorate the lives sacrificed by men and women. In proclaiming the first Decoration Day, General John Logan, National Commander of the Grand Army of the Republic, wrote that we should not only remember those who died in defense of their country, but also renew our pledge to aid and assist those whom they left among us, the widows and orphans. What makes Memorial Day particularly special is what it means to those touched deeply by the loss of service members, the family that they left behind, our Gold Star families. Today, many of our Gold Star families are alone. The gathering at cemeteries to show our support to them for their loss are canceled or altered due to the requirements to limit groups from gathering. Instead of playing taps and giving speeches in flag and flower-filled cemeteries, this Memorial Day weekend, our National Guard members across the nation are fighting for their brothers and sisters against the coronavirus. More than 45,000 Guards, men and women from all 50 states, 3 territories, and the District of Columbia have supported the COVID-19 response. We've seen dramatic measures taken by the National Guard in New York, Michigan, and Louisiana on the news. Locally, we've witnessed Governor Wall strategically place soldiers and airmen in planning cells for alternate care facilities and play a logistics support role in the distribution of personal protective equipment. This virus doesn't treat everyone equally. Only by neighbors helping neighbors in a friendly and professional manner will we slow the spread. We're very proud of the work we've done as a National Guard and continue to do in support of the Governor's plan to defeat the virus. And we recognize this as a national crisis. Every American, every Minnesotan has a role in stopping this pandemic. I want you to know today that the National Guard has your back throughout this crisis. We're in this together, and we'll get through this together. Today, we're not standing in decorated cemeteries among our fallen service members with arms stretched around Gold Star families. Today, we stand 6 feet apart wearing masks. But that doesn't mean we can't remember the importance of Memorial Day together. We can fly our American flag. We can join collectively in the national moment of remembrance. It's a call to voluntarily and informally pause at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday, Memorial Day, to reflect on and remember those Americans who died in the service to our nation. This national moment of remembrance was established by Congress in 2000. It reportedly came about after a group of school children touring the U.S. Capitol were asked about the meaning of Memorial Day. Their reply, it's the day the pool opens. When I hear a story like that, I can't help but remember of the words of Calvin Coolidge, who, in a speech not long after the end of World War I, said that, "The nation which forgets its defenders will itself be forgotten." That is why our observance of this day, understanding and respecting its true meaning, even during a national pandemic, is so important to all of us and our future generations. This Memorial Day does mark the beginning of summer, which will no doubt be one for the history books. This Memorial Day, please pause to remember the American history of a different war and sacrifice that brought our country to where we were at the start of this pandemic and where we will return to together. Thank you.